Hi, good morning, everybody. Live on YouTube once again. Andy here with On Path Healing Arts, and I'd like to just talk to you a little bit about the process of awakening, transforming, and embodiment. And again, we're here on Path Healing Arts Studios, Andy, and just to start talking about the subject of awakening, transforming, and embodiment. And we're going to focus in on embodiment today because that's really a key piece that sometimes is missing, or sometimes it's the only piece we're working on is the physical side. And what we want to do is get to a place where we're embodying a certain quality of spirit, of energy, of physical power, vitality, heart love, and mind consciousness. So, in all the vast practices, there's all kinds of different elements and different levels of focus. And one of the things I found in Qigong and Tai Chi, and Qigong in particular, is as well as yoga and other practices, of course, can't leave anybody out. It's all good stuff. And you'll probably find that ingredient and style that's right and best for you. And this may just very well be one of the missing pieces in your practice. So you might be more towards the stillness and very much into the spiritual or meditative relaxation side, but not getting a whole lot done. You might be overly active and be really into the going and doing part. And so, what we're being called into now is to bring our personal practices of spirituality, of inner cultivation, higher consciousness, source connection, however you view that, into actually embodiment, to actual doing in life, and letting that become an extension, a part of, or really the key behind how we move through the world and how we conduct ourselves. So when we really take time to tune into our inner self, highest self, and inner power, this opens up a lot for our life experience to improve. And in the process of awakening, realization, awareness, transformation, the process of integration and processing what's happening and converting some of the old stuff into new stuff, and connecting some of the dots that might have been missing into embodiment, where we're actually walking the walk, talking the talk, and we are um, moving through life in a way that is supported by inner stillness, peace, calm, and, if you will, higher power. So what I'll be doing in the next days, weeks, months, and years is in the process of sharing what has been a cultivation of 30 some years from my awakening experience as a teenager, and that journey leading into being introduced to Kung Fu and Qigong, and really starting that over 3 decade process of studying how to embody, how to sustain what it is we want. And coming from the side of not needing it to be different, but allowing it to change through focusing on what I can do now, what is available to me in my body, my life, my awareness, how can I shift the way I feel, my perspectives, and how do I get into the body? And for me, that was a big piece because I was often caught up in my head. And so found it difficult to make decisions or to gain clarity, or just be caught up in my imagination. So to get into the body, to become embodied, is taking those higher states of being, whatever you consider those to be, and really bringing them not just from this place of proving my worth, but this place of I'm already worthy, and let me show you what I can do, and let's see what we can get up to together. So let's bring the most and the best of who we are into our life and our experience. One of the first things I'll start to share, and some of this will be uh, conveyed deeper on my website through a membership subscription I'm in the process of developing. But for now and continually, I will share things on YouTube because I do find that I really don't want to withhold things from those that it could be helpful for. And if this isn't your thing, that's great too. I'm sure there is something that is for you. Listen to your highest self, your inner guidance. That is your highest authority. And so I will share what has culminated over the years of my practice and refined into an actual system of practice of combination of energy, meditation, and body movement is what I'm calling at this time energy essentials. And what we're doing is by moving the body in such a way, we are influencing what is already happening in our spirit, energy, body, heart, and mind. And we're starting to unify that into some cohesive and coherent experience. So in the beginning stages, you'll be focusing on the choreography. What is my body doing? And we'll be touching on, some states of meditation and relaxation because the mind will be focused on what is the body up to? What am I supposed to be doing? And so that's enough to begin to develop our energy body. So if we work from the inside out, it's a lot smoother than trying to work it out all here and try to make that force some kind of change inside of how I feel about myself or life. So I start with inside, and I can use all these other things as well, but the focus is moving the energy along certain pathways or our awareness along certain pathways in the body. In the beginning, it'll be about the choreography. Later on, we'll introduce breathing techniques that will go along with it. But for now, just by doing it, whether you're seated or standing, and focusing your awareness on what's happening in the body, this is what helps to fine tune and align some of the core dimensions of our experience: our head, thought, intuition, insight, consciousness, heart, feeling, sensations, and body vitality that be a part of life to experience the life that we came to be. So in that process, I'll start with the high and light easy version, and that may even be challenging to you. So you might have to simplify it or modify it. It's less important that you reach the extreme movement or stretch as it is to stay within a certain range that's comfortable yet challenging enough that you are developing, but aware enough that if I need to back off and take it easy, that I'm listening to that as well. So there's this fine line and balance. So what we're going to be doing is bringing beingness, stillness into action. We are going to begin to embody some of the things that will be helpful. And so if I do the work on the inside, that emanates outward. So that's where we are going to be working. And I look forward to sharing that with you. This has become one of my personal treasures and my part of my daily practice, which is extensive, but one of my key practices that I'm now teaching in my classes, in my in-person classes here in Phoenix, and look forward to sharing that, perhaps traveling and other places as well. So I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, that's great too. And let's just do a few of the pieces now, just to give you an idea, and I'll share a more complete set soon. And then if you really want to dive deep and go into deeper study, then in the next few months or so, however long it takes, I will let you know when there's more available, including some Zoom classes and things that will be a part of that membership. So whether you're just here on YouTube and take what you can, that's beautiful. I already have over 100 videos that are good basic beginner level practices embedded with spirit, energy, and the core essentials of our life experience: head, heart, and body. So let's begin. As always, start with a few basic, simple Qigong exercises just to get into the body a little bit and to loosen up, get the blood flowing, get the breath and the energy flowing. And let's start with shaking out the branches of the tree. And if you have joint or body pain, you might want to be really slow and easy and deliberate. That feels good to the body. You can be vigorous with it, shake it out a little bit. shake a leg, or step in place, and tuning into the breath. And if this is new to you, just do what you can. Do or not do, skip it if you need to, make it easier, lighter if you need to. And as well, I'll mention high and light is easier, so not going as deep or as wide is a little bit easier. So if you're just starting out or need to be careful with what you're up to, I suggest that. Also, if we're standing, which I'm comfortable standing for long periods of time, but if we're standing and you start to feel like you want to shift and sway or twist or paw your feet and move a little bit, always free to adjust yourself in the way that you need it. You're the only one who knows what you need. So let's go ahead and adjust the breath. Exhale, squeeze it out into the belly. Squeeze the belly, filling from the belly up to the chest. Hold it in the chest, squeeze it out from the chest down into the belly. Gather, breathing from the low to the high. And coming down from the high, down into low, rooting into the breath, rooting into the body, squeeze it out. Third deep cleansing breath. Cleansing release. One of my favorites, chi up. Clap the hands together. Rub the hands together. We're using physics, friction, muscle tension to bring awareness and energy into the hands. Almost like rubbing a balloon, increasing the electrons on the surface, as well as stimulating energy pathways, blood flow, nervous stimulation, and open up. And just let yourself feel your fingers, your palms, your arms, as we begin to invite the breath into the belly and relax. And for those who've been around and seen my videos, I do this all the time, or in classes, I do this stuff on and off all day long. And just when I need to and when the environment's right, I'll choose what I need to support what I'm up to. Right away, the 3 cleansing breaths, and feel free to twist, sway, and move about as you need to. As we're talking for a moment, this is a little bit more instructional rather than some of my practices that are more experiential, and we'll get into that over time. I will be sharing more. For now, I just want to introduce a few ideas, and one of those is in Chinese Qigong called the Cheng Mai, or the Central Channel. In yoga, it's Sushushma, if I pronounce that correctly, but there's all these ideas about, or spinal health. I like to think in terms of physics and biochemistry. I like to think in terms of bioenergy or spirituality and all kinds of things. So whatever framework works for you, use that. But this idea of moving our awareness up and down the spine or up and down the central channel, which in the body is from crown to tailbone, and then a further extension of that is feet to head. Further extension of that is embedded in the earth and connected to the top of the sky. So what we're doing is working on this column, this vertical column, and that's has various dimensions as we go further in or out. So right away with cleansing breath, we're moving the body, moving the hands up and down this central channel, and we're inviting through awareness, breath, and movement a certain level of embodiment that it's already happening. Now let's see if we can enhance, influence, and cultivate it deeper. So let's do that again. And there's all kinds of ways to approach these practices, but for now, let's go ahead and focus on that central channel, Chiang Mai. Exhale. So imagine as my hands move from my tailbone to my head, that I breathe from my tailbone up to my head. Now as my hands move from my head down to my tailbone, I imagine breathing from my head down to my tailbone. As if my hands could reach further to my feet, I imagine breathing from my feet up to my head. And now I imagine breathing from the top of my head, my crown, all the way through my body into the feet. And embed myself deeper into the earth, about an arm's reach below the earth, below the feet, or to the center of the earth, center of gravity, and rise from the earth to the sky. Imagine my breath, my being rising to the highest heights, the cosmos, the heavens, and from the heavens down, returning to the earth and the body. And relax. Feel free to twist, sway, and move. Feel and breathe. And so just by doing that a handful of times a day, back to one of the first Qigong homework assignments I give to people, really is just an idea to practice, is 3 deep cleansing breaths, 1 set of 3 times sometime in the morning, 3 times sometime in the afternoon, 3 times sometime in the evening, but not too close to bed, as it does have an energizing effect. And this is practicing that movement, that vertical alignment. You can think about it as the pull of gravity of the body to the earth, through the center of gravity, through the heart, through the head. You can think about that in various ways. But what we're doing is we're extending our awareness, our thoughts. Our mind is not restricted to the brain, right? We can think and see and receive information from all around us, and we can think ahead to the future, and we can look to the past and root ourselves in the now. So we have certain capacities by shifting our awareness and our attention to this vertical alignment. I'm also bringing attention to the fact that I'm in a body and I'm grounded and rooted to the earth, that my feet connect me, or my body when I'm laying down, or my sit bones when I'm seated. Even if I'm in an airplane, gravity is pulling on my body. So it brings a greater awareness of the fact that I am in this body, I am here, I have capacity of mind, heart, and body available to me, as well as tapping into the nature of the subtle reality of energy and frequency and vibration, and highest consciousness or higher self or source, that kind of thing. So we're learning how to embody that. And one of the greatest keys, if I could share and give one thing to everybody, and if that's all I could do, would be the 3 cleansing breaths with the hand movements. Now, of course, out in the world, you're not going to be in line in the bank going, it'll be subtle and gentle and more covert, right? So we can employ this, preparing for a meeting. We can employ this when we're getting ready to perform, or athletics, or whatever it is that we're doing, or a powerful or a deep talk that we need to have with somebody, or we're about to go into an environment where we know there's difficulty. So I tune into my center, my central channel, and that is working from the inside out. So I take care of what's happening inside of me. I refine and align into my center, and then, even though it might not be without challenges, the world becomes a little bit easier, and we kind of reach that eye of the storm, the inner center. So let's do that one more time together. So I do recommend, as a baseline practice, 27 deep cleansing breaths a day, just to kind of get the habit going. So one aspect is training and development. One aspect is application and practice. How do I really use it in life? So I want you to be able to call on this when you're having the stressful, emotional, anxious, or difficult times. Gain your center quicker, and then from there, make the best possible choice and the best response to what's happening inside or outside of us. So once again, the 3 deep cleansing breaths, this time focusing on the spine and this vertical alignment from feet to head and from earth to sky. So we're going to work our way to that. If that doesn't make sense to you yet, just breathe, move the hands. That's enough. By virtue of just doing the practice, the deeper awarenesses and the development will occur over time naturally for you at your rate. So one last time, 3 cleansing breaths. Exhale. I evacuate the breath. Breathe from my tailbone up to my head. From my head down to my tailbone. And down through the legs into the feet. as if I could reach my feet with my fingers, and I lift the breath up to my head. I travel through my body from my feet to my head and from my head down into my feet. And I let my awareness go deeper as if I had roots embedded in the ground. And now I breathe from the earth up to the sky as if my hands could reach the top of the sky and back down. And then just take a moment to breathe and relax. Soften your body a little bit. Feel free to twist, sway, and move, make adjustments as needed. And really call on this. It is here to support you. It has been tremendous that my teacher shared this with me so long ago, that I had this available to me in my life journey. And I hope that it serves you as well. Thank you for coming out to play. Thanks for joining me. I'll be looking forward to sharing the full set, but that is the first and the 10th piece of the energy essentials. We will begin and end in those 3 cleansing breaths as we refine layers and dimensions of our experience through awakening, transformation, and embodiment. And again, today, just helping us get in our body, get out of our head, get out of the difficult emotions, the upset, the upheaval, and out of the body pain and difficulty of what I can and can't do in this body at this time, or what it looks like, whatever that is, that we begin to refine and align and attune into, you came here, this is who you are, this is what you've got, now let's go ahead and see what we can do with it. Peace and love, have a beautiful day. Thanks for coming.